Hey guys, this is Avatara. I'm making a new video on Canada recognizing Palestine as a state, and I'm going to be going over 4 opinions, and then I'm going to be asking one question at the end of the video, and let's get started. I'm going to make this as informational as possible.
It's a war. Countries are finally waking up. They tolerated Israel's war for a long time, but now they've had enough. More and more countries are condemning Israel. They're also recognizing Palestine. The latest one to do so is Canada. Prime Minister Mark Carney made the announcement yesterday. He plans to recognize Palestine in September.
For the reasons I cited earlier, Canada intends to recognize the state of Palestine at the 80th session of the United Nations General Assembly in September 2025. This intention is predicated on the Palestinian Authority's commitment to much-needed reforms, including commitments by the Palestinian Authority's President Abbas to fundamentally reform its governance, to hold general elections in 2026 in which Hamas can play no part, and to demilitarize the Palestinian state.
So my first point will be, Carney just went over his conditions for the Palestinian state recognition. I approve Carney's conditions for Palestine, but I don't think it will be accepted by Abbas because he's dictatorial and he's been in power since 2005.
Is not alone. France announced its plan last week. Britain announced it on Tuesday. All three of them will recognize Palestine in September. Why September? Because that's when the United Nations General Assembly will be in session. US President Donald Trump is not happy about this. He says Canada's decision will derail their trade talks. Israel, too, has criticized the move. They say Carney is rewarding Hamas. If so, then most of the world seems to be rewarding Hamas because Israel is in a minority.
Okay, my second point now, Carney's recognition will encourage Hamas in a way because he's recognizing Palestine, so the Hamas will feel like somehow believe that he's supporting the countries. Hamas will somehow believe that the countries are supporting Hamas, even though they're talking about Palestine, and. But this recognition will pressure Israel to respect all civilians of Israel, because Gaza and Palestine is part of Israel now, right? So they should be giving fair treatment.
More than 140 countries recognize the state of Palestine. 4 out of the 5 UN Security Council members also recognize it, the permanent ones. China, Russia, France, and the UK. The only holdout? The United States of America. As of now, these moves are only symbolic because a viable state needs land. It needs sovereignty. But Palestine is occupied by Israel. Therefore, this does not change anything on the ground, this recognition.
Okay, my third point now, this recognition won't be enforced on the Israelis by any of the countries. So the Arab nations will demand more from the world because the Muslims are Muslim civilians specifically are being mistreated.
Countries could try to admit Palestine to the United Nations, but that would require a UNSC resolution, and as things stand, the US will veto it. Nonetheless, you cannot ignore the rising sentiment and the significance of it. This week, the UN hosted a special conference. It was chaired by France and Saudi Arabia. Its goal? To push for a two-state solution, one state for Israel, the other for Palestine. After the conference, 15 countries issued a joint statement. They expressed interest in recognizing Palestine. And this list includes countries beyond France, Canada, and the UK. It has countries that did not presently recognize Palestine, like Australia, New Zealand, Finland, Portugal. So what we are seeing is a mass movement of sorts. Many more countries could recognize Palestine before September, before the UN General Assembly. But just to be clear, this is not an endorsement of Hamas. No one wants Hamas in power, not even allies of Palestine. Look at the Arab countries. All 22 Arab League members condemned Hamas yesterday. It was the first such condemnation. They also asked Hamas to end its rule and surrender its weapons. Then who will rule Gaza? The Arab nations are backing the PA, the Palestinian Authority. It enjoys international political support. It also rules parts of the West Bank, so the plan is for the Palestinian Authority, or the PA, to take over Gaza as well. But for that, Hamas must surrender. Israel has managed to weaken Hamas considerably. They have lost control of most parts of Gaza, but they still have one card to play, and that is the Israeli hostages. Hamas still holds around 50 hostages. Israel believes almost half of them are dead. The families want Prime Minister Netanyahu to strike a deal, but he continues to use force. Israel has launched multiple strikes in the last 24 hours. They have killed more than 100 Gazan civilians. So clearly, they don't care about the global opinion.
Yeah, they're ruining their relations. So, yeah, my fourth point will be the Israeli government is losing its image around the world by mistreating the occupied civilians. So they can't just occupy and then mistreat them, right?
Don't care if their allies recognize Palestine. So what do they care about? The United States of America, that's what they care about. The US public is overwhelmingly against Israel's war, but the US politicians, they support it. Yesterday, the US Senate voted on a new resolution. It was aimed at ending American military support to Israel. All Republicans voted against it, and the Democrats were split. 24 Democrats voted for the resolution. They wanted to halt bomb shipments to Israel. And this tells you why the war is not ending. It also tells you how broken the system is. Only 2 countries in the world want this war to continue. Everyone else wants it to end. So much for a rules-based world order.
Okay, so I want one question for you guys. If anybody wants to comment in the comment section below, will Israel allow Abbas to rule Gaza? That will be very interesting to find out. What my opinion is, I don't think so, because Abbas is very corrupt. I don't think he answers to the Israeli government. So let's find out. But I don't think Israel is going to give up Gaza, the occupation of Gaza. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos to come.